Hello, welcome back to the Business of Business with the City of Omaha. My name is Jared Anderson, the Economic Equity and Inclusion Program Administrator.
And I am Christian Espinosa, the Small and Emerging Business Program Coordinator.
Today we are honored to have two guests, hence the different setup that you guys have noticed. Both guests are from the Small Business Administration. First is Elizabeth Yearwood, and second is Melissa Tedesco. Elizabeth Yearwood has been with the Small Business Administration since March of 2013. She is a Public Information Officer and Economic Development Specialist for the SBA, Nebraska District Office, and provides training and workshops on small business startup, financing, and other entrepreneurial topics. Elizabeth is also an Air Force veteran, so thank you for your service. Lisa Tedesco is a Deputy District Director for the SBA Nebraska District Office and has been with the SBA for 10 years after leaving the private sector. She has spent most of her time there managing the federal government contracting side of SBA's mission, providing outreach to small businesses on how to be successful in pursuing the federal government as a market segment of their business. So please welcome both of our guests to the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, we'll jump right into it. Christian, I'll let you take the wheel there.
I think the first thing that I would like to ask is what the SBA does and how can you help the small businesses?
Absolutely. The SBA is literally the only federal agency that is exclusively devoted to small businesses. Our main mission really is to help small businesses start, grow, expand, and recover. So it's really all about access. That's really how we help small businesses the most, whether that's access to capital, access to federal contracting programs, and access to resources that can help them start, grow, expand, and recover.
Oh, that's great.
Excellent.
And now, so this week is a very important week, right, for the SBA. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me why?
It's National Veteran Small Business Week. So it's been this whole week, the November 1st through November 5th, and it's just when the SBA really concentrates on all things veteran. We celebrate small business owners that are veterans. We talk about access to veteran-owned small businesses for federal contracts, that type of thing, and then we have a variety of national programs going on, as well as all of the different district offices have their own events going on too. We will be having a couple next week, so we highly suggest that people check out our website calendar, which is sba.gov/NE. That has a listing of all of our presentations that are coming up, including one that we are having next Friday, specifically on government resources for veterans.
And those are virtual or are in person?
Virtual. Ours are virtual. Some of the other district offices are having in-person events, but ours are definitely virtual.
Okay, excellent. So you said that there's several things that the SBA does. If I'm a small business owner, what can the SBA do to help me? How do they help?
We're a bridge to resources. Basically, if you call us, we can connect you with where you need to be to get access to our resource partners. They can help small business owners really get started. Entrepreneurs, they can bounce ideas off of them. They can help do a business plan, which is going to be critical for anybody that's looking for small business financing.
Right.
And that can be really tricky, especially if you've never been in business before. So the resource partners that we work with are SCORE, the Nebraska Business Development Center, the brand new Grow Nebraska Women's Business Center that specifically covers Omaha, which we're just very excited. They've been around since, about May, so very, very new to Omaha. And then we also work with a Women's Business Center that services Greater Nebraska, which is the Center for Rural Affairs. And then we work with a veteran-specific resource, the Veterans Business Resource Center, which is headquartered out of St. Louis, Missouri, but they cover our state.
That's great. So for example, if I want to open my business, I work in construction for so long, and it's I don't have access to capital. I don't know how to what do I do? How can you help me?
That's a great question. Yeah, so as Elizabeth said, we're really what I call from cradle to grave. We have partners that we work with. We have technical assistance within our district office, but we work with partners throughout the state to really help you at whatever stage your business is at. So yeah, if you want to start a construction business, you can come in, talk with us, and then depending on where you're at in that process, we may help get you connected so that you can get access to that capital if that's what you need. Maybe you need to start before and you're still putting your business plan together, to start that business, even though you've come from the construction industry. So we will connect you with either SCORE, who is throughout the state as well, and they'll help you kind of write your business plan, think that process through. Or we may send you to the Nebraska Business Development Center to sort of further hone in on that, look at financial projections, that kind of thing, so that then you can take it to a bank and get financed.
If I'm a company that's already pretty well matured and I'm just looking for opportunities, would I still come to the SBA for contracting purposes, or is that kind of a different world?
Yeah, no, absolutely you do. If you're ready to grow your business, which is really what we prefer. I mean, when you decide that one of your markets is going to be the federal government, you need to be ready to go. So yeah, when you can come in and meet with us. We'll sit down and kind of talk about what does that market look like for your business, and yeah, we'll work through you on the various procedures and the process it takes to actually break into government as a market. And we've got other partners as well that we work with on that.
Excellent.
And really not only contracting, but also exporting and international trade.
Absolutely.
We can connect you with resources to expand your business in those arenas as well.
Can you give an example of that?
Yeah.
With
Do international business? Like how come small businesses can do business abroad?
Oh, absolutely. So we have a couple of different financing programs that are specifically related to exporting and international trade. So we can work with the small business owner on getting them in touch with the banks that do those particular programs. We also have resources we can send people to, Commerce Department. We've got contacts over there. And really we can send them to the Nebraska Business Development Center, who's very beneficial in helping with market research, putting those plans together.
Yeah, and actually the state of Nebraska, the Department of Economic Development specifically, has a grant with the SBA called STEP, stands for State Trade Export Program, to help also further expand their business plan into international markets.
What will be the industries that have benefited so far for this project?
For international trade
For
specifically,
international,
it seems like it's mostly been in the technology sector as well as the ag sector, even, believe it or not. A lot of commodities and that kind of thing too. So that's been the most common, I think, in the last few years.
Equipment as well, the heavy
Equipment.
ag
The heavy
equipment.
heavy ag equipment, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And well, and just taking back what we do, we work at the city mostly in construction part.
Right.
So if I am a Latino and I want to do contracts with the federal government, do I have to register in a specific program, or what kind of programs have the SBA for the small businesses? Right?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there is a process to bidding on federal government contracts, just like there is with the city. You can further leverage that if you are considered a socially or economically disadvantaged individual, which is how it's sort of spelled out in the regulation, and you can get certified. So if you're a Hispanic American owned business, a Black American owned business, or Asian American owned business, you can apply to be certified in those programs, and those are specific socioeconomic categories that the federal government recognizes that awards contracts. So being a small business in federal contracting is great, but then again, you can further leverage that in those areas. So, and you can get certified and just provide you with additional access to those contracts. Our office works with you. The Nebraska Business Development Center's PTAC program will also work with those businesses. So we kind of collaborate on that in helping those businesses go through that certification process.
So we have African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, any for women?
No, unfortunately, not that women can't get access to the program. If a woman has a situation, it's all based on an individual situation. So depending on what she may have been through in her career or life, if she's considered disadvantaged, she could possibly get certified. But no, as a group as a whole, women are not considered minorities anymore. So they're not part of that necessarily, of those recognized groups. But certainly women do still get into the program, showing other types of circumstances.
All right, and what about Native Americans?
Native Americans as well, absolutely. Yep, they are one of the recognized groups as well, yes.
All right, so let's say that I already have my company and I can handle $100,000 contracts. And I said, like, you know what? I want to do a federal contract. And I go with you guys. What would you say to me?
If you were looking to go out and bid on a $100,000 contract?
No, I handle $100,000.
Oh, you have it? Okay,
That's
all right.
my capacity.
Oh, yes.
But now I want to have a federal contract.
Yeah.
And I go with you guys. What would you tell me?
Yeah, well, that's what we do. I mean, between our office, our Nebraska district office, and the PTAC, we really sit down with the business and we talk about how do you grow yourself in a way that makes sense.
Right.
Especially in construction, you have to be bonded. So if you can only bond a $100,000 project for now, you certainly don't want to be bidding on $1 million projects. You might not be able to bond that. SBA does have a surety bonding program, so we can assist with helping companies get bonded. But we will make sure that you take that in an incremental step. Past performance in government contracting is critical. So we want to make sure you perform well on your current contracts before you take yourself to that next level.
Could you expand more on that, please?
Yeah, sure. In federal contracting, you're only as good as your last project, really. Specifically in the federal sector, every contract that you complete, you're rated, and you receive a rating on that past performance. You are going to use that past performance as your resume, if you will, when you bid on future projects. And contracting officers anywhere in the country can look at your past performance to see how you've done. If you haven't done well, that may keep you from being awarded a future contract. So your past performance, completing those projects, is obviously critical as you try to grow your business.
Right.
So viewers, if you're a small business owner, take it small steps at a time, be patient. What about if you have had subcontracting opportunities with federal contractors? Is that something that would show up on your your rapport that you've built up, being able to develop your capacity, your bonding capacity, anything like that?
Absolutely. I mean, you're not specifically rated on contracts as a subcontractor from the agency itself, only the prime contractor is. However, absolutely. Building good past performance, especially with the larger businesses in your industry who have a name and a reputation, if they can give you that past performance A+, absolutely that's going to help you move forward. And we work with a lot of businesses who will go on to prime contracts on their own, but certainly keep their subcontracting business going. So it's always going to be critical to maintain both of those.
There's the joint venture agreements too that they can.
That's my next
I
question.
was going there.
You
read your mind.
Reading minds. We do that at SBA too. We read minds. No.
So can you explain that a little bit? Because it can kind of be a little complicated at a high level for somebody coming in as a business owner, not understanding what the actual relationship looks like, maybe.
Yeah, it can be very complicated actually. And we do offer classes throughout the year on joint venture and teaming. It is just another strategy for your business. If you're too small perhaps, or maybe you can't complete a whole entire scope of work on your own, it might make sense to come in and team via a joint venture where you both take equal risk in priming that contract. So it just helps give you, more capacity, maybe more infrastructure that you might need to go after those larger, more complex projects. So you can form a new entity, which is really a new legal entity, a joint venture, under SBA's regulations, which we will help you with. We can help you with forming that joint venture, putting that paperwork together. And yeah, it's an absolute viable strategy for the business.
Would you say, in your opinion, that might be a good step, maybe for a company like we were talking about that's coming in, they've matured a little bit, they're trying to build to that place where they can be a sole prime? Is that a good logical step?
Absolutely, yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself. Really, it is. If you've already kind of grown a little bit and you're kind of ready to go to that next step, you may want to look at a joint venture or even look at SBA's Mentor Protege program. Okay. You still use your joint venture to bid on contracts, but you can form a mentor protege relationship with a large prime contractor in your industry, and they can help work with you to take you to that next level in a more formal agreement through the mentor protege program.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities for small businesses.
There are.
The COVID, that's kind of the thing, it changed the business world, the small business world. Can you guys please touch on maybe how the SBA can help small businesses that have been affected by COVID, or what it looks like now because of COVID? There's got to have been some changes that have affected the small business itself.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a couple of ways that the SBA can really make a direct assistance, for small business owners that are affected by COVID. One of the biggest ways, of course, we've all heard about it in the news, is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. And businesses are able to still take advantage of this program. They can apply up until December 31st of this year. if small business owners do need that long-term low interest loan, they do need to apply sooner rather than later because it is till the end of December or until funds are exhausted. It's a very popular program. Tons of businesses in Nebraska have taken part of that. And the other way really is through our resource partners. One of the biggest things that we've seen kind of as an overarching trend throughout COVID is business owners pivoting. Brick and mortar businesses that were shuttered during all of COVID, they've made an online presence. And that's something that our resource partners can really help small businesses with.
And how do you qualify for this program? What you need to do?
Oh, for the EIDL program?
For the EIDL program, yeah.
Yes, it's very easy. You just go to our website, sba.gov, and it has all of the links that you need there. And it's all an online application. They've made it very simplified. It's basically just your income and cost of goods. You need your 2019 taxes, information off of that, but it's a very streamlined, simplified application process. And if they call us at the district office, we're more than happy to walk people through that as well.
Yeah.
And what is the phone number that they can call?
Yes, it's 402-221-4691.
Could you repeat it one more time, please?
Yes, 402-221-4691.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Speaking on the COVID front, if I miss EIDL, is there anything else that would be helpful at this point in terms of pivoting, in terms of the market strategies? Is there anything additional to that? Because there are some companies out there that are hesitant to go through the process of applying for the loans maybe. Is there anything else that would be beneficial on top of that?
There's microloans. That's always an option for small business owners. We do partner with 3 of them in the state, Nebraska Enterprise Fund, Community Development Resources, and the Center for Rural Affairs. Those loans tend to go up to $150,000. What's really nice about the microlending program too is that businesses that have been affected by COVID, they may have taken a hit on their credit, they may not have a lot of collateral available, they may not have a lot for a down payment, and that's really what microloans are designed for folks that for whatever reason can't qualify for traditional financing. Getting back to your construction businesses as well, we do have a specific program for folks in the construction industry or other seasonal industries called the Capline program, which is great because it's designed to be purely working capital, especially for seasonal businesses. And what's unique about that program is if you do have that signed purchase order, say for your $100,000 contract, you can actually use that as collateral for the loan. Which is very important now, especially post-COVID, as people obviously have been very financially affected. That's a great benefit to small business owners. And again, that's called the Caplines program.
Caplines.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah,
That's a new one.
Yes, and
It's a well-kept secret.
we want to make it public now.
Right.
Exactly, that is my goal, yes.
Well, Christian, do you have anything that you'd like to link together with the city's Small Emerging Business Program? I know that the SBA is a much bigger program than obviously the Small Emerging Business Program with the city, but there's some common trends. So is there anything that you would see that's really important that stands out?
I think that there is a great opportunity to register with the city for the Small Emerging Business Program and then transition that into the Small Business Administration and start looking at the projects and the programs that the SBA have, right? So you can take advantage of them. You can keep growing, as you guys said, periodically or incrementally, and taking secure steps. And please contact me and contact them. And I will put my phone number one more time. That is 402-444-5052. And you can say your phone number too.
402-221-4691. And for all of the economic development entities or even larger businesses or whomever out there that might be viewing this program, we are also happy to come out to your location, or we do a lot of webinars where we can really get into the details about our different loan programs, about how our resource partners can help you. We are absolutely thrilled to be able to do that for folks, and of course there's no charge.
Excellent.
Great, excellent.
So tons of resources, small businesses. These are very beneficial things that we haven't had on the show to this point yet. So if you have questions, please feel free to contact them, contact our office, as we said. I don't have any other additional questions. Do you have anything else you'd like to add in, maybe in regards to Veterans Week or any other programs or anything else before we go?
I would just say please check our website for all of our events coming up. And again, that's www.sba.gov. gov/NE. We've got a listing of all of our webinars and workshops, as well as all of our resource partners. So there is a lot going on, especially coming up as we get into the holidays. Tons going on, so please do check that. It's updated daily.
Sounds like we might have to have both of you back at a certain time, maybe to dig into some of the cap line stuff or something a little bit farther too. But
Right.
Absolutely.
thank you very, very much for being with us today as our guests. Again, Elizabeth and Melissa, for the Human Rights and Relations Department. I'm Jared Anderson,
And I am Christian Espinosa.
and we just gave you the business of business with the City of Omaha.